Hi. Okay, another day, and I've been doing some work on the threaded bolt, and I'll show you what I've done so far. I cut the bolt off I guess about 3/4 of an inch long, 5/8, 3/4, and I drilled it and bored it out in the 3-jaw chuck, and it's a undersize on the finished size. I got about 26 thou left in the bore to bore out. So what I've been doing this morning is I put the 3-jaw chuck in the 4-jaw chuck, and I dial the outside diameter within half a thou, and got the face running nice and true, and I dialed this part in as well because this part belongs to the front half of the chuck. So just to make sure that everything was running true in case this back revolving part was, if there was any slack there, so I dialed in as good as I could get it, and then I checked it out on this register here, and it's running pretty good. What's that? There's a noise coming from somewhere. That's what it is. Okay. It's not one thing, it's another. So, we've got everything there running true, nice and true. And we've got this part here that is partly bored out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this into this here, into the back, and I just nip it up for the time being and switch it on and check to make sure that the hole, the bore, is running fairly smooth. I think just to make double sure, I'll put the dial indicator on it. So we'll see what happens. Just yeah, that's within 2 thou. So I know now that it's going to clean up, and what I'll do is I'll just nip this up. Just to make sure it's tight. looks pretty good. The other thing is, I think I was talking to on my last video about this Shareline DC motor and controller and how I was getting fluctuation. Let's have a drink. I'm getting fluctuation on the RPM. And it was, even just by switching it on, I would set the speed at say 1500 RPM, and all of a sudden it would slow right down and to about 800 RPM, 900 RPM, and then it would build up the speed again. And I had another identical motor that I bought at the same time and stuck it on my milling machine, on the Tague milling machine. And so I thought, I'll phone Shareline first and find out what the situation is there. I spoke to Fred. He's a very nice man. He was patient with me, and he suggested that I pack the thing up and send it back to Shareline. So I got off the phone and I thought, well, hang on a minute, I'll take the motor off the milling machine and stick it on here and use that and see what the difference was. And there's quite a big difference. The speed doesn't fluctuate, and I've done some drilling on it this morning, and it held up pretty good. So I know that I'm gonna have to do something with the bad motor. So Fred mentioned, he said that how old is the motor? So I said, well, it's about a year old, but then when I look through the files, I find that it's about 18 months old, so it's out of warranty. So I'm gonna see what I can do myself. There's some adjustable pots inside the control box that adjust for medium and maximum RPM, and I got a feeling that there's something wrong in there. Maybe it just needs adjusting, I don't know. But before I go to the trouble of sending it back, I'll see if I can fix it myself. So that's the situation. Hope you can understand me. I've got, my teeth are out, so if I seem to be speaking double Dutch, then it's not your sound, it's my fault. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start boring this out to fit this plug. This is the insert, and that's got to go onto that part there. So that's what I'm going to do now. One of the viewers suggested, have I ever thought about sitting down on a stool while I'm machining? And I've had a stool out here for years, and it never occurred to me to use that. So thank you for that suggestion. Okay, everything's fine, everything's locked up, so I'll just touch on here. Again, I'm using one of these cheap old carbide tool boring tools from China, so the reason I'm doing that, I'm using carbide, is that there's a hard surface on the outside of these bolts, and it's pretty tough material anyway. So the high speed wasn't up to it really, so I'm using a tip tool. Now, take 6 now. Take a reading. What do I do with it? As usual, not prepared. What do I do with it? Huh. Ball gauge. Ah! Jeez! Come on, where are you? What do I do with it? A ball gauge. Son of a gun. I didn't put it back. No, it's out. What do I do with it? I've got so much stuff around here, I can't find the forest for the trees. Gotta be here. Huh. Oh dear. Dear oh dear. Gotta be here. What happened to it? Ball gauge. Son of a gun. Here it is. Wow. I don't know. Okay, it needs to be 0.366. and that's 333. There's another 33 cell to come off. Okay. So set my gauge. Okay. It's 10. Tough material. Probably something like a SPS kind of thing they use for socket head screws. Need some good light in this shop. Not very good. Okay. $52. $14. Take another 10. Not coming bad. Go through again on that setting. 60. 360. Give it 4. It's rubbing. 60. Looks though the tool might be rubbing. Got a feeling the tool is rubbing. sounds better.